Hi everyone, welcome to my session on coaching skills. Now this is a little bit of a bonus session and it really builds on the skill set of change management really. It's about communication and bringing people on a journey with you. And I couldn't resist adding this to the mix. My background is a professional coach, so I trained up as a coach back in 2006. I was only 26 at the time, but I ran a coaching business for years after that. And coaching is part and parcel of what I believe everybody needs as part of their skill set to help them in their workplace, but also at home as well. So I'm going to talk about a little bit how coaching can help you on your projects and how it can also help you professionally. And it's something that we're very passionate about at Supermums and can provide you with as well. We're very passionate about coaching and supporting you with those elements. So let me explain why is coaching is important. It doesn't mean you have to spend lots on coaching. It could be, say, something you have yourself, or you can take courses that just skill you up in some of the key disciplines. And again, it's something we're very passionate about at Supermums. So what are coaching tools and techniques that you can use on your project? So the first is about goal setting with clients. It's about learning how to get clear on your goals, how to build confidence and foster motivation, both for yourself, but also for the client. You know, if you think about this in essence, it's about that business case. It's about those KPIs. It's about setting goals for the project. What is it that you want to achieve? And what does success look like? It's really, really important. And actually, you're coaching them to create SMART goals as part of this project. So the two things overlap. It's pretty much a very similar thing. But if you need to have some coaching tools and techniques in your toolbox, coaching would be what I recommend to help support you with this. The second is about building rapport with people. So on the change management module, we talked a lot about how you need to understand who the different stakeholders are. There might be stakeholders that are very anti the system, new system coming in, are scared of the new system coming in, really excited. Obviously, the ones that are excited are the easiest ones to probably build rapport with. But it's about how do you build rapport with different personalities, learning styles, different motivational techniques. And again, we cover a lot of this on change management, but coaching skills and coaching tools and techniques can equally be valuable with building rapport with people. Empowering people is about how do you motivate and enthuse them throughout the process. Again, using coaching techniques, you can motivate and empower people to get on board with you. Coaching has always been talked about as quite an influential tool. You know, we talk about NLPs, they're used a lot in sales techniques. It's about influencing people, but in an authentic way. Is you don't obviously want to do it as a scam, but you want to do it in a way you can build or get people bought in. And then finally, coaching tools can also be useful for team building. This is how you learn to align on common goals and you can overcome difficult conversations. I would say now that you are always going to overcome difficult conversations or have to overcome difficult conversations. There's always going to be a time on a project where something might not be going right, and to expect that, right? Don't expect every project is going to be dreamy. I think the reality is we're always going to have that situation where there is a difficult situation and you need to resolve it. And using coaching tools and techniques can support you with that. Something you're not comfortable with. So if you are in a situation where you're feeling like you've got low confidence, you're feeling that you've got this imposter syndrome where you've got this inner critic on your shoulder saying things to you, then coaching tools and techniques can definitely help you. If you feel you're struggling to build rapport with different stakeholders and you're, not particularly those that are more challenging towards a project, those that are scared, those are how to engage those stakeholders, then again, I'd be saying spend some time learning some coaching tools and techniques to give you that confidence and a new skill set. If you struggle with these areas, the outcome will be that you will have stakeholders that aren't bought in. That will be one of the outcomes, and you might see or be experiencing that on any project you're working on if that's been a problem before. You might have a team fallout and the team isn't getting on. You might experience complaints. You might have a project failure situation. So be aware and self-evaluate. You can always develop yourself, your confidence, your skills to respond to challenges that have happened before. Nothing, as I say, is ever going to go smoothly. The perfect project, if it happens, amazing, absolutely, that's where you want to be, and that's what I'd encourage as part of being a super consultant. You want to be achieving all these wonderful things, but when people are involved, you're always going to have different personalities, different situations, different challenges that you might having to deal with. And so having coaching tools and techniques and having different ways of facilitating conversations, dealing with different personalities will certainly set you up for success and help you mitigate those challenges where possible. So we teach coaching tools and techniques at Supermums. There's various ones that you can lean into. Logical levels is one of my favorite, and I'm going to be sharing that with you. Learning styles, equally another really important one. Understanding the 4 different learning styles of kinesthetic, audio, digital, and visual learners is really important. I've talked about this on the change management module as well, but making sure that you're delivering training and facilitating workshops in a way that engages those different learning styles is paramount to getting engagement and getting people enthused and bought in. Goal setting those goals around the business case. Positive reframing is really important. If people are negative, critical, you will get people resistant. How can you reframe and constantly use positive reframing language in your communication to get people excited about this happening and get them back on board, particularly if you're doing a reset? You might use coaching techniques for accountability setting, make sure everybody's on the same page and everybody's being accountable to things. You might want to use coaching to build rapport and really get people on board with that. You might have conversational reframing, similar to positive reframing, really, is about how do you reset conversations that are happening? How do you get to a place, a common ground where you can agree on things? You might need to look at motivational strategies to change situations. How do you motivate yourself or people differently? On every project, you might get the grief cycle because people will feel a sense of loss of their working, their old system, their old processes, their old spreadsheet. So everybody will be on this grief cycle, and it's important to understand what the grief cycle is and what that means for people and how to weather that, and to not take it personally if people are going through that grief cycle, but to know where they are on that journey and how you can bring them out the other side is really important. You want to build resilience yourself and with people. You want to make them feel excited about the future, what they're going to learn, that they're going to learn these new in-demand tech skills, that they are going to learn the #1 CRM solution, that it's okay to get first time because there's going to be this learning dip, and that's okay too. You want to be embedding conversations, language, communication in there to build resilience of people, to make them feel like, yes, I can do this, I've got it, and it's okay to feel scared. And with that goes hand in hand self-belief. How do you build self-belief in people? How do you believe, particularly those that are scared of new technology, how do you install that faith in them that they've got this? And think about the communication strategies there. And then the final one is well-designed outcomes. How do you go back to tallies with that goal setting piece, really? How do you set really good designed outcomes that you can evaluate against at the end? So I love these tools. They embed so nicely with all of the things that we've talked about. I think, for me personally, having a background in coaching and coaching tools and techniques really helped me understand and embed a lot of this within business analysis, change management, agile project management, to make me feel confident, because I've learned all these tools and projects. So all of this is a level of confidence, and again, I want to install self-belief in you. You might not feel confident and be well, can I really do this or not? Well, you will feel worried and anxious that you can't do this if you haven't been taught all of these things. So personally, I invest in training to skill up and really develop these skills so I feel confident, and then I can charge my day rate. As a freelance consultant, when I started freelancing, I was like, okay, went out there, had my admin cert, my advanced admin, I'd done this 1 week course, I do this, and I realized actually there's lots of things I don't know. And there was workshops that I was facilitating and people that were, not as engaged and excited. And I was like, oh my God, how do I deal with all of this situation? And this is why I invested in myself, because I was like, I want to be confident. If I'm going out and charging 450 day rates, I want to feel like I know what I'm doing, that I'm confident, that I'm delivering the best. So coaching has always been a big pillar for me, because I feel like I coach myself, right? I coach myself to think about why do I feel like this? Why do I feel like I've got this imposter syndrome? Why do I feel like I've got this inner critic? Why do I feel like I'm not good enough? And for me, the answer is always like, I've got to go and get trained up in that, or I've got to learn more about how to do this, and I've got to do it better. And then I can go teach that and deliver on that on my projects. So I like coaching myself, as you can see through this. And this is where I want you to coach yourself, because you've got to think through it. So I'm going to do a deep dive into one of these coaching tools so you can see how it can apply to a project. And this one of them's logical levels, and it's really about understanding how your project and how user adoption might not be there. I use this model as a way of really appraising, is this organization ready for Salesforce, or have they been in a situation where they've had Salesforce before, or a CRM, any CRM, and it hasn't been adopted? And I would look at it to say, well, why is this the reality? What is the problem here? What is it that we need to look at in order to mitigate those risks going forward? So there's 6 different levels here in that we're looking at, and appraising it from different angles is a great thing to do with clients, because you want to discuss all these areas with the client, because one, you're educating them. And I say client, it might be your manager, depending on whether you're an in-house consultant or external consultant. But you would have this as a discussion framework to look through all the different angles. So the first would be environment. If we look at the environment that the CRM is sitting within and the people are sitting within, the question would be, are we setting up the right IT infrastructure to support the users to access the CRM? Have we got the right tablets, the tools, the technology? Is it set up in a way that they can access it? Do they need it offline, online? Is there firewalls that are causing challenges to the IT infrastructure? So do they have the necessary equipment, software, and everything else to access the CRM? That could be one reason why people aren't adopting it. But equally, if you're going to do implementation, you want to make sure that you've got these things in place. The next could be about behavior. Is it that has the CRM been aligned to align with the processes of the organization? If you're going in for the first time, you'd want to make sure that you're investing in digital adoption to make sure that, or investing, in business analysis to make sure that you are creating processes and terminology in that system that really align with that organization. What they don't want is a system that's a plug and play and using terminology that's not familiar with them. That's where it can go wrong. So if they've got a plug and play system, terminology, everything else doesn't match, then they are going to turn off the system and not be using it. So behavior is the next level. Capabilities is about making sure that people are empowered with the right knowledge, training, and skills to embed technology. So if there's been a situation where nobody's used the technology before, nobody's using the technology, nobody's been trained in it, or the training wasn't sufficient or fit for purpose, then that's where the challenge could be. If this is a new implementation, obviously you want to go through and make sure that you are empowering them with the right level of training and knowledge and skills to embed it. Then you've got values and beliefs. You want to make sure that you are realizing the value and benefits for the organization, individual, which goes to the business case. If there's no clear business case at the outset that is communicated, then people won't understand the values and benefits for them. And it might be a business case. You've also got to look at the benefits for the teams and the individuals as well. Is there a value to them using it? And you want that to be the case, because if they're not clear on it, they won't use and adopt it. But if you're going in for a new implementation, you want them you want that to be clear and visible to everybody involved. Then moving through to identity, you want to make sure that the CRM is at the heart of the organization to support performance. So you want to make sure that people are living and breathing the CRM, that they see it as absolutely essential, that every part of their day-to-day job is using the CRM and that they can't live without it. That's what you want to install if it's new implementation. That's what you want to assess. You don't want the situation where they see it as an extra administration issue where they're like, oh, this is an extra piece of work I need to do. It should absolutely not be the case. Actually, it should be improving their efficiency and reducing their administration through using Salesforce. And then finally, it's about the value proposition. It's about the impact that it's having overall on that organization. So it's aligning, making sure that the organization and the vision, that there is impact here, that they see that this system is going to transform the way they work with their customers and financially for the organization. Is about impact. So is that visible to everybody involved? Are they bought in with it? You know, when you look at why adoption hasn't happened, you will clearly see it'll be some of these areas. Might be one, it might be a few, but that's what you need to mitigate going forward. Is in order to make sure that it's adopted next time, we need to nip those things in the bud and kind of work forward from a better place. So I hope that's been useful to analyze how you can assess it. So as a summary, coaching can really help your career in different ways. It can help you personally. So if you are suffering from imposter syndrome and that inner critic on your shoulder, if you see that you've got negative behaviors and patterns, you know, and you're always beating yourself up a little bit about what you're doing, then coaching can definitely help you change that mindset. You might want to boost your confidence and self-esteem. You might want to get clear on your own unique selling points so you know how to sell yourself properly. You might want to get more equipped with soft skills and attributes to be successful. So you've got better communication skills. Like it's okay to you know, we aren't naturally born with communication skills and say, well, you know, we have these innate traits. Learning communication skills and coaching skills to be better at communication is like learning anything else. I mean, better at everything else. Like, don't feel like you should be brilliant at this without necessarily any training. So do invest in your softer skills as well as professional technical skills. Get clear on a success plan for you with your own goals. A coach can help you with that. A coach can help keep you on track, keep you accountable, keep you motivated for your goals. They can help, as say, improve your own communication style, and it can also help you understand your own learning style, like what works for you. Maybe you haven't understood something before because actually you learned it in a learning style that wasn't right for you. And it wasn't the case that you couldn't get it and you're not good at it. It's maybe that you just need to learn it a different way that is a better approach for your learning style. So do invest in coaching for yourself to help you have a positive mindset, to help you communicate with people better, to help you build a better understanding about yourself, to help you feel that you can achieve anything that you possibly want to. I've always been a big advocate of coaching since I personally had coaching at 26 or 25. And that's why I invested in coaching and learning coaching myself. And then I went out and ran a coaching business for many years. And why coaching is still a key part of what we do at Supermums. We love coaching people who have been on our training programs and helping them get their confidence, overcome that inner critic and achieve their career goals. It's really, really important. But if you want to learn coaching skills, equally, you know, there's different levels of courses. You don't need to do a 3-week course on coaching. There are some taster, really simple courses that you can do. As I say, we do support and deliver coaching at Supermums. But if you apply coaching skills and you learn coaching skills and apply these to yourself, it can help you understand emotional intelligence much more. And that is, emotional intelligence is an in-demand skill, and it's something that is recognized on people's CVs. So understanding and improving your own emotional intelligence and using it on projects is good. Understanding how to motivate people, understanding how to engage people, all of these things are very, very important. But equally, helping clients get clear on their goals, helping to influence and generate buy-in to achieve success is really valuable. Helping to improve methods of communication with your different stakeholders, helping to understand different learning styles, and ultimately maximizing user adoption and buy-in is everything you could possibly want on a project. You know, that's what success looks like. So if you might well have these skills, you might have learned them before. Brilliant. I always think coaching skills should be in everybody's toolbox. I feel like it should be taught at school, quite frankly. I think they're fundamental to living and breathing and, you know, our own positive mindset. And if we learn them for ourselves, it's only natural that we bring them into any environment that we're in, and we teach people that as well. So I hope that's been a useful addition. I say it's a bit of a bolt on to change management, but I think the the tools and techniques that you can learn with coaching really underpin all of those different, helping you be successful in all of those things. Because as I mentioned on one of the slides previously, is leading a Salesforce project, a Salesforce consultant isn't about the technology quite often. It's about facilitating stakeholders and bringing people on a journey with you and being successful at that. And so, yes, I can teach you the professional disciplines of business analysis, change management, and project management that say you've got to do this. But unless you've got those communication skills, the ability to build rapport, your confidence in yourself, none of that will happen. So investing in your own success, confidence, skills, capabilities, soft skills, if you feel that is an area that you're lacking in for any reason, then definitely invest in that as well. So I hope that has helped you. I just want you to be really confident and successful as a Salesforce consultant. Obviously, this has given you a lot of information, insight into what the role includes and what you can learn and train up in more detail. And so I will leave it there on that module, and I'll see you in the next. Take care. Bye.